Hey guys, Dadtries. And this is Bellwright. Bellwright launched April 23rd of this year, 2024, and I picked it up on the first day of launch and honestly really wasn't sure what to expect out of this one. It is developed by Donkey Crew, which doesn't have a stellar reputation with the community, and that was one of the biggest things that I was seeing in the Steam reviews was people pointing out that yes, this game is early access, it has some bugs, and Donkey Crew doesn't have a good reputation for going back and fixing those bugs. People were fully expecting it to just kind of go stale, flop. Donkey Crew was going to take their money and not fix any of the issues, and the game is what it is. It's never going anywhere from here. That's apparently the reputation that they have, and a lot of people had a lot of concerns and were giving it some negative reviews on launch day just based on that, which I don't know. I don't think that's fair. I don't think I've actually played any of Donkey Crew's other games, but I think each one needs to be given a fair shake. What caught my attention early on and why I wishlisted the game so very early, so long ago, was that the fact that not only are you building your camp, but you're also managing your colonists, I guess. So it had a very RimWorld appeal to it, very Mind Over Magic-esque, and you had that kind of granular ability to assign priorities and tasks to your villagers and assign recipes and change priorities of recipes and change the stock and how many you wanted to keep, where they're stored. I mean, all of it is right up my alley when it comes to colony builders, and I just thought that it had a lot of potential, so I was really, really excited for it. With that being said, I picked up Bellwright on sale on Steam for $26.99. It's currently 10% off. And I've got just over 17 hours into the game currently. So let's dive in. Here are my thoughts. All right, right off the bat, visually it looks pretty good. I can't complain too much about the graphics. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. The first chance I actually got to play this, I was playing it on my laptop. And my laptop has a Ryzen 7. I don't remember exactly what model it is, but then the graphics card is a GTX 1660 Ti, and it actually ran okay at 1080p. I didn't really have any issues with it. My desktop, I'm running it on ultra, as high as it can go, at 2K resolution, and I'm getting about 60 frames, and that is with me running my Ryzen 7 7700X, and I have a 4080 Super. Overall, I would like to see a little bit higher frame rate out of the game, but it runs okay. I can't really complain about where it's at. So let's look at some of the actual gameplay. I'm going to start here with the biggest elephant in the room, and I think anyone who's played the game will probably agree with me, but the combat is just terrible. I mean, it's to the point where it's just something that's in the game that you have to deal with because it's in the game, but it's not something you're going to go out of your way to do. I even try to avoid it at all costs, but it's bad to the point where the AI pathfinding, if you just hide behind a fence or a rock wall like I'm doing here, they don't know what to do with themselves. Everybody just stands still, my settlers included. It wasn't until we got down to just one dude left and my guys decided to attack, and he attacked, and by then it was all over. I mean, the combat needs a lot of work. So if you are looking for something that's going to be very involved combat-wise, this isn't it. Not at all. Also, it tells you the day before when you're going to be raided. Like, the guys that are about to come raid your camp, they send a courier pigeon or something and say, hey, we're gonna come beat you up. And actually, the first time I got raided, they came along, they kicked the shit out of me, and they took a stick. They took one wood from all of... They broke into my storage chest. They took one wood, and they left. Just not... Something's missing. I think the next thing that needs to be addressed is the AI voice. It's pretty bad. I know it's a temporary thing, and this is an early access game, so I mean, they could have just left it at you need to read, and I would take this AI voicing over having to read the text any day. I guess I'm lazy in that sense, but it's pretty rough around the edges. And actually, check this out.
There was a time when we were more welcoming.
That was actually more than just a one-off occurrence. That's happened to me probably over a dozen times. So there's definitely an audio bug, but it's kind of funny when it happens. I'm just getting used to it at this point. It's just something that happens. So it is what it is. Another thing that's a little odd, there's no swimming. I'm fine with not being able to swim, but don't make the water deep enough to cause an issue, I think would probably be the fix at this point for the devs. That would be easy enough to do. It's just either raise the ground below the water or reduce the water level so that you don't have to worry about that system currently. Because right now, if you go in like over your shoulders, it just teleports you back to the edge of the water, and that's not really conducive to an immersive experience. Another thing that's just not done well is the winter. You get a warning that winter is coming in X amount of days when you sleep, but from what I've seen, winter lasts like a day and a half, 2 days maybe. If you exit your save and reload, sometimes all the snow is gone, and really the only negative effect of winter currently is you get a little snowflake icon up next to where your food goes, and that's pretty much it. You can't forage anything if there's snow on it. You can still see the resources, but the flowers are no good with snow on them. You can't pick them. So winter's kind of a pain in the ass. But if you don't want to deal with it, a lot of times if you just quit the game, load it back in, the snow will be gone. So there's that. All right, so I beat it up a little bit. Let me say something nice about the game. The map is huge. It's really big. It would actually take quite a long time to go from one side to the other if you were walking. And they also have road signs which you can use to fast travel between locations. It doesn't take your party members, but it will take just yourself. So that is a pretty nice feature. The crafting system is nothing earth-shattering. It's nothing we really haven't seen before, but it definitely goes out of its way to make it kind of a pain in the ass to craft your own things. This is definitely set up in such a way where you should just be managing the colonists that are getting the resources and then adding the recipes and coming back when they're done. Crafting for yourself is really boring unless you really need something right then and there. It's definitely something best left to the colonists. Another piece that's kind of received some hate in the Steam reviews is the building system. People really don't like it. And it's because you actually have to stage all the materials or have it all in your inventory and then run around what you're trying to build and touch each orb, and the orbs will shift around as you start new phases of the project. But I think that's really just to emphasize the fact that you need to recruit colonists to do it for you, because they make it suck to do on purpose, which is really the whole point of the game, right, is to grow your colony. So get more colonists, have them do that kind of work. If you need to do it yourself, you can, but it's a pain in the ass. Honestly, if that's what they were going for, they nailed it. I think that's a pretty cool mechanic for what the game is supposed to be. There's some more positive signs about this as well, like the tech tree. It's huge. I mean, there's a lot to explore. Definitely if you want to play to the point where you have uncovered the entire tech tree, you are going to get your money's worth out of the game. It's just a matter of if you want to deal with all of the clunkiness that comes with it, but there is a lot of content here to be had. It's also worth noting that at this point, sleep is kind of optional in the game. It does regenerate your health, but you don't need to. Your character isn't going to get tired. You can spend the whole night working, and eventually your HP will regen as long as you're eating food, but really there's no absolute need to sleep. You can just stay up. But I'm assuming that's probably a mechanic they're going to be adding later. They actually have released a ton of updates for the first few days that this game was out, and even still today, every time I launch it, there is one, sometimes twice a day updates. I think the first day they did 3 updates right off the bat, so it was like every time I launched the game there was an update, which was cool to see. What they have done extremely well, and what gives me a lot of hope for this game, is the colonist management and the priority system here, and how you manage your people and what they do best and how you can assign them tasks. This is what drove me into the game originally. This is the RimWorld-like concept that they have here. And then also the storage system. I really enjoy how they've laid this out. They've itemized your storage for you, and you can see it from anywhere. This is a collection of all of your chests. You can see exactly what you have on hand, what's slotted to be carried out to something that's being built, and what's currently being routed. It's very good, and I wish more games had this. This system alone, I think, has just a ton of potential. And you can also manage all of your buildings and their recipes from one place anywhere at all. You don't have to actually run to that building to change it. You can just pop open the menu and change what resource or what research function is being produced at that particular location. So all of these things tied together has the foundation and the framework for a really awesome game. It's just unfortunate that it has so much clunkiness to it, and there's a lot that needs a lot of work, and the developer has a reputation for not putting in those finishing touches and not ironing out all the bugs. But I'm really hopeful that if this game gets enough of a following, that it will be good. But for right now, for what it is, I gotta put the wait and see tag on it. I've definitely had friends ask me what I thought about the game so far, and I've had a really hard time recommending it. I've had some fun in it, and I probably am going to get my $26 worth out of it, $27, whatever. But I would have a really hard time telling someone else that this is a great game and they need to spend their money on it. But it definitely has potential, so wait and see what happens, and hopefully it works out for the best, and you can pick it up in 6 months to a year from now, and it'll be an outstanding game. Thank you for watching. Hit the thumbs up button. Give me a subscribe if you want to see more, and definitely leave me a comment. I will most likely reply to you. Would love to have a conversation about this game. Have a good one.
Oh, I think they killed your dude.
Yeah. He's... Oh, good shape. Oh, they got me too. What are they doing? Oh, when he gets back, we're really gonna have a have at him.
You can't get him.
What are you doing? Where are you going? I've been raided. That's it.
Chitty's back, guys.
Get back here. It took one thing.
What a bunch of hooligans.
Well, they're not greedy raiders. I mean...
No.